If you're like me, you do a lot of one-man band shoots for clients with one-band money. So there's often not a lot of times to set up camera unless you have it all ready to go from a prep day beforehand. Also, a lot of times I'll have multiple locations in one shoot day with barely any time in the schedule to accommodate that travel alone, where setting up and breaking down the camera every time is unrealistic. So I need to have my camera as is ready to go to transport from point A to point B. Or I need to move around a lot during the shoot and need to have easy access to things like extra batteries, media, lenses, other accessories, whatever, without extra hands providing me those things. For situations like these, unless you're comfortable constantly buckling in your fully built camera in your passenger seat like a helpless child, and then carrying your sometimes heavy rig along with everything else from point A to B, then all the way to Z, you're gonna need a solution that's gonna help you with that, like a shoulder bag or backpack that is large enough, has enough space, and is good enough. While I adore my Pelican cases, especially for carry-on and larger productions where I'm bringing nearly everything else that I own and actually have the proper time and help on set, I was in need of just that. A large, well-made, reliable camera bag or shoulder bag that'll stand the test of time and it'll be able to fit my larger cinema camera rigs, namely the Sony FX6 and the red V-Raptor X. Now, I did a lot of research and trial and error on this, as always, and I originally landed on Sackler's Airflow camera backpack. While I love it for many reasons, namely the features, the size, comfortability, customization, versatility, it didn't really solve my issue. While I can technically fit most of what I need to have with me at all times in this backpack, with the Sony FX6's extremely awkward size and dimensions with the dumbass handle attached, I couldn't keep the camera fully built like I wanted to. The Red Raptor too. I could mostly fit it fully built, but there's very little space left inside to fit everything else I need to have with it. Still, I think it might be worth keeping, since I can fit mostly a fully built Raptor inside should I need to lug it around all over the place and be ready to roll on set. Even though typically I'm not bringing this camera on those types of projects, it's nice to have the option. Plus, it seems like the perfect size for any smaller cameras I may add to my arsenal in the future. Nikon ZR, once you fix some things, you will be mine.
You will be
But that's an entirely different video, let's not get into that. Then I came across Tenba, specifically their Cineluxe line. They offer a variety of sizes that can accommodate smaller mirrorless rigs to fully monster-sized rigged-out cinema rigs. Being a exclusively monster-sized cinema camera rig owner, seems like the larger bags are the way to go. In my case, no pun intended, I needed to check two boxes. One, long enough to fit my RPG-length V-Raptor with the Laowa Ranger cinema zooms attached to it, and wide and tall enough to fit the wonky dimensions of the rigged-out FX6, plus all the things. Originally I was set on a backpack, mainly because they free up my arms and shoulders. While I still think a backpack would be the perfect solution, with the size I needed, a backpack would have turned me into a Ninja Turtle or a bull in a china shop on set.
Too much shit on me, I can't breathe.
So I settled on this bad boy. The Tenba Cineluxe 24 high-top shoulder bag. Well, it's big. First and foremost, the interior dimensions of this thing are more than I will ever need, enough to accommodate both my long boy and my wonky boy. After getting it and testing it out, I realized that the Cineluxe 24 backpack likely would have been enough room, for now. But as always, who knows what the future holds. And if I'm lucky to be doing this long enough, well into my soon-to-be elder years, having more space than I need is never a bad thing. Aside from that, the water-repellent material is great, feels very sturdy and ready for a pounding.
Over the years, my ass has taken a pounding.
It has plenty of options internally for any kind of configuration really, as well as plenty of extra pockets and compartments for all the things. as well as a Dr. Bag style opening for easy access, which is nice. It includes multiple lens wraps, an extra zippered pouch, a rain cover, as well as a hidden AirTag holder compartment. But as a low-born Android user, I don't really care. All of these great features aside, the main thing for me was the internal space. With 14 inches of internal height, that's more than enough to accommodate either one of my cameras fully rigged out, and likely anything else in the future I might get. The only downside I can really think of is that this bag, along with the others in the Cineluxe 24 line, are too big for carry-on. So if I wanted to take this thing on a flight with me, no dice. But that's not why I bought it. I have my trusty Pelican cases to fit that bill when I need it. Plus, clients that have enough budget to pay for my travel usually have enough to pay for crew, so not really an issue. Another possible downside could be the price. At $349.95, it could be a little steep for a camera bag. But for me, considering the value it provides and the problems it solves, it's worth it. I bought this simply because I want to be able to take my camera right out of the bag, completely ready to roll wherever I go with everything else I need without having to drag any other cases with me. While going with a shoulder bag does kind of feel like a compromise in a way, like I said, with something with these dimensions strapped to my 6'5" back, I would end up owing more money on set with all the shit I've broken.
There he is. Oh my gosh. Is that...
So, if you too have clients think that you are an entire crew inside one human, and you need something big enough to carry your big-ass cinema camera along with everything else you'll need at the ready at any given moment, the Tenba Cineluxe 24 high-top shoulder bag might be the one for you. But if you tend to shoot more on the smaller mirrorless side of things, you can definitely get away with something much smaller and much cheaper. In short, it comes down to have big camera, need big bag. This is big bag, buy big bag. That pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for listening, and as always, drink 'em if you got 'em.